St. Barnabas is apart from the ordinary.
Your community, your radio stations, originating from the St. Barnabas Control Studio in Beaver County. 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
Made it to the second hour. We are a little bit at a time getting closer to the weekend. And that alone makes me happy. Also, something that makes me happy, Lisa is here. Lisa Diaz joins the program from time to time. How are you doing? Good to see you. What's up?
Good to see you, Eddie. Doing good.
So how you doing? We'll get to your job and what we're going to talk about in a second. But you as a person, how are you?
Good. I am anxious for spring.
Did it mess it up that it got down to 30 and there was freeze last night? Or you feel like it's sort of springy? You got to 70 or 80 a couple days.
I know, but I had to get a few extra layer. I had to get an extra layer this morning.
I went back to the scarf. I had not done the scarf. We're going to talk about job training, because you have a new program. First off, tell people what your job is. You work job training for Beaver County, but what do you do,
Sure.
job training? And then I'll ask you, what is that?
Sure. So within job training for Beaver County, we actually do a whole bunch of things. What I personally do is I work in the entrepreneurship department, and so we teach workshops for people who are Beaver County residents who want to start their own businesses.
Is that growing? We talked before, and because of a lot of emotions that got dredged up because of COVID and being at home, you said there were people that wouldn't have thought of that before, said the heck with it. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do my own thing. Is it growing?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think a lot of people had always had side gigs, right? Maybe we didn't know about it, but a lot of people had them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think right now, people are deciding to take that side gig and make it try to make it a full-time employment type thing.
Was it an issue? Now, see, I don't remember as a kid anybody having a side gig. Do you think that we grew into that, accepting that as a society over the last 10, 15 years?
I do think so. I mean, people, I hate to say it, people love stuff. Well, I don't. But
No,
a lot of people love
you
stuff,
said it perfectly.
So,
people love stuff.
Yeah.
And the more you work, the more stuff you can get.
Right. And
training is a big deal. Is it hurting you that there are so many jobs open? The motivation of somebody maybe right on the edge. I'm going to call Lisa, and she's going to help me start my own business with the entrepreneurship program. But there's a job available that's the old bird in the hand, two in the bush thing of a steady paycheck that you make more than you would have a year ago.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's a good question, and we tell people that we're in favor of if you're unemployed or underemployed, we're in favor of getting any kind of steady paycheck or whatever it is. So money's money, right? So sometimes people will come through the class and decide that getting a job is the right step for them. We still count that as a win, because if you were underemployed and now you have full gainful employment, we're very happy with that as well.
You left in a better position than you showed up.
Exactly. That's the goal. That's exactly the goal.
Did you know, Lisa Diaz is my guest with job training for Beaver County. Did you know that there is a patron saint of the underemployed? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
St. Cajetan is patron saint of the unemployed, underemployed, and the gambler. I don't know what I'd do with that either if somebody threw it at me.
Are you making that up, Eddie?
Why would I make up a saint?
Okay. So this. I have to use that information for my buddy John, who I work with. So John, on the new logo, FYI, we're going to have to change it from a light bulb with a $sign to a picture of Eddie's saint here.
It's not my saint. It's a church's saint.
The church's saint. We're going to change it, John, St.
Cajetan.
There you go.
And if I was going to make up something, I'm not going to make up stuff about a saint.
Probably not.
Yeah,
probably
make up
not.
what kind of cool car I drive. I'm not bringing religion into it. If you want to start an entrepreneur lifestyle, what's the first step? What's the first thing you tell them when they call you?
Oh, wow.
Hi, Lisa, I want to do my own thing. I'm sick of having a boss. I've got this idea. What's the first thing you come back with?
Well, I mean, we want them to come in to sign up for the workshops and get started. And our numbers actually have been increasing, which is really, really encouraging. And the networking, I think, is kind of like the miracle thing that happens when we have, 6 or 8 students and they network together. Beaver County's pretty small, so everybody knows somebody who knows somebody else.
Right.
And the networking magic that happens, I think, is the best part. So come on in. Don't don't try and, stay home and do it yourself. Come on in. We'll tap you into our current workshop class and then all of the alumni from past classes as well.
And that's an emotional support. Yeah, it's a logistical support, talking to other people that are going through the same process to figure out how to do it. But emotionally, it's nice to know other people are trying it.
Yeah, for sure. And that is a big part of what we do, kind of like to help some of these folks. I mean, some of these folks have maybe their friends or their family have told them, nah, it's not a good idea. I don't know how to work. You can't do it or whatever it is. I tell them all the time, don't listen to your broke friends. Don't listen to your negative.
Wait, to your broke friends?
Don't listen to your broke friends and don't listen to your negative relatives.
Well, that's good advice for life, though, isn't it?
It's good advice for life. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So if people are interested in getting into one of the workshops, the phone number is 724-728-2020, extension 112. And you got more workshops coming up, I think, second week of May 16th or something?
Monday, May 16th.
Okay.
The new one starts, and we already have some seats taken. So please, if you're interested, give us a buzz. We can give you some details, but come and sign up because, like I said, they're filling up faster than they were, say, 6 months ago.
Well, that has to make you feel good,
It does,
doesn't it?
yeah. Really
All right,
does.
so they start at 9 o'clock. Where are the workshops held?
So they're in the Beaver Valley Mall. There's a
So I can get workshopped up and get a Sbarro.
There you go. There
Okay.
you go. Across from the career. Well, no, I take that back. In the CareerLink office. So job training is on one side. CareerLink is directly across the street. But where I teach the workshops is on the CareerLink side.
Okay, and this is called Smart Start.
We just changed it. What do you think of the name, Eddie?
I like it.
Do you? Okay.
St. Cajetan gives his blessings. Why Smart Start? Why Smart Start? Because I've been in meetings where we're trying to come up with slogans, and they can be contentious. How did that get settled on?
Rich liked it, and Rich is the boss.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but we liked it too. I wanted 2 words. I wanted something very short, very easy to spell, very easy to say. It used to be called, the Job Training for Beaver County Entrepreneurship Workshop for when you want to start your own small business. Like it was like 55 syllables. So
Smart Start.
where it started.
Well, the conversation we just had, I bet you it's a conversation you're going to have in a workshop when you start talking about branding your product or branding your business or how to go about labeling stuff to hold people's attention.
For sure. I mean, we talk about names, we talk about logos, we talk about, keeping it clean. I just had this conversation this morning.
You're talking about you're talking about a logo being not busy.
Clean and simple. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How many people come in and say, I want to do this out of my home versus I want to go full bore and get a space?
So some people, I would say fewer and fewer people are wanting a bricks and mortar location.
Okay.
Especially after they talk to me, because I will try to talk them out of it, right? Because we want to start small. I love to tell them to embrace their inner cheapskate. So the last thing you need is a lease payment for the next 5 years, right? So
for sure.
let's see how small we can do it. Let's see how inexpensively we can do it. Let's see how much money we can make on the smallest shoestring budget.
When people come in and sit down and in one of the workshops, you just mentioned the word budget. How often does somebody find out that it's going to cost way more? And how often does somebody find out, oh, well, it's going to cost less than I thought? Because they sit down in front of you. You've done this, different businesses. You know where the hidden costs are going to be. Mm-hmm. Do they know that, or does that bum them out?
Well, I have to tell you, they don't always take all of my advice.
Well, that's okay. All you can do is give it. What's the one piece of advice you tell them that they say, nah, I'm all right?
Well, I will tell you, businesses can be started on very little money. Okay.
I go home and I say, I'm going to start Crow Incorporated. All right. I don't even know what my product is, but I'm going to declare myself a business. What's the process? I'm assuming I have to pay somebody from the government something. Yeah.
I mean, you file and then all that sort of boring stuff. You do have to do that. And that's costs a few $100. It's not like prohibitively expensive or whatever. But people want to hurry up and they want to sign a lease because that's something that looks really flashy. And so people want to do that.
Looks like you're moving forward. You got a space.
Right. Okay. Right. Which is, in my opinion, a big no-no. right? Let's don't do that. I have people, a lot of food businesses come through, and sometimes the food businesses want to, get a space with a commercial kitchen. Well, I will tell them, have you exhausted every church in the area? Churches all over the place have kitchens.
Yes.
Have you gone to every single solitary one of them with a free plate of whatever you plan to make in there, and ask them if you could use their kitchen, in an inexpensive manner?
What day of the week do you guys not make pierogies?
For real. Straight, true story. So, I mean, those are the kinds of things. It's not glamorous. I get it.
Yeah.
You got to haul your stuff. I get that. But starting a business isn't glamorous. Right? So
is there anything about running a business that is? Aside from the subjectiveness of what your product is. If I'm selling Lamborghinis on the side, there's a little glamour to that.
Yeah.
But that's not the case most of the time.
No, I mean, I would say it isn't glamorous. But, I mean, I guess my point of when I had businesses, did I want to make money or did I want to do something that looked flashy? Well, guess what? I wanted to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So,
are people more interested in making money than they are in giving back? And the reason I ask that, I just did a story about hospital workers, and compassion is more important to hospital workers than, say, used car salesmen.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, sure. But I will tell you that I'm struck by lots of people in these workshops, in these past several workshops, who have had really good hearts wanting to give back. So, I mean, I'm touched by it, but I think that there's a spirit of that. I don't know, maybe it's a COVID leftover or something, but people's hearts are full.
More in the right place.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Somebody comes and says, I want to start a business. Lisa, you're an expert. What business should I start?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody said you have to start your own business, you have to go through the process that you've already gone through how many times?
Yeah. Three times.
Right? Three times.
Yeah.
What's the business that you're starting right now?
Okay, so thank you, but I'm not an expert, I wouldn't say, but I have a little bit of experience. But what I would say is, first I would look at the individual person, and we would try to do some kind of analysis about what they're good at and what they like to do.
You just whittled down my options real quick.
Yeah, sorry, Ed.
That's all right. It's like, what is your passion? What's going to hold your interest? Okay. And you find out pretty quick if their interest is, or their passion is their product versus how much money they can make. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, sure. But also, too, what are they good at? Are they artistic? Do they like people? Do they not like people? Do they, sort of hammer that all out and find out, quote unquote, my buddy at Lunchbox says, what your superpower is. Find out what your superpower is. I like that.
Okay. You just mentioned the Launchbox. How much better is Beaver County, or how good is Beaver County getting at moving forward with ideas like this and the innovation hubs and the technology with going on in Midland? Do you think the average Beaver County person understands we're way more forward moving than most people might think?
No, I agree with you. I think it's just absolutely fantastic. All those places that you mentioned. I mean, I think it's really going to put Beaver County on the map, and these folks who live here aren't going to have to go far at all to tap into some really spectacular resources.
Is that something we discovered during COVID, that there was a need and people said, here, we're going to address this while it's needed, not on down the road? Anything from broadband to the emotional, I'm sick of going in a cubicle, I'm going to start my own business.
Yeah.
Those lessons we got?
Yeah, I think that made people want to do their own thing a little bit more. Yeah.
Is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't ask you? It's always great seeing you.
Thanks, Eddie.
Yeah.
No, I mean, let us know if you like the name Smart Start.
I like the name. It's quick. It's simple.
Short and sweet.
Yeah. Almost. They rhyme.
Yep.
And people don't think that that's a part of business. That's absolutely a part of business. Your branding and what you call yourself and how, and everything all the way down to the font.
You're exactly right. And part of the reason why we had to do this, it was never branded before.
Right.
And I came in and said,
it was labeled.
Yeah, but it wasn't branded. So now the colors, everything will be taken through everything, all the emails, all the paperwork, everything. And then that provides a good example for the clients in the workshops to see, here's an example of what I'm talking about when I say branding, because we've done it here.
It is now Smart Start. Lisa Diaz is with it's still job training in Beaver County.
For sure.
But Smart Start is what it's all about. If you want to get signed up, the next round of workshops starts Monday, May 16th, 9 o'clock. You call 724-728-2020, extension 112. We'll see you again.
For sure.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that.
All right.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30.